Hey y'all, I'm Stacy Johnson. Welcome to our first discussion of this course. And for this discussion, we are just going through research, trying to figure out some models that will work best for our dissertations. For me, my area of concentration is the Civil War Reconstruction, and just trying to place all the factors together. There's tons of research on the economic role of Reconstruction, political aspects of Reconstruction. And so I'm just trying to puzzle together all the demographic pieces, if you will, the role of women, the role of African American, Native Americans. And I specifically want to talk about the contributions of the census and how a lot of those roles have not been so tracked and so evident because of errors, if you will, with the Census Bureau. So what I did for this discussion was, or for this assignment, was that I went to the NDLTD global database and I looked for topics that were similar to what I was going to write on, as I try not to waste any time getting right on this assignment on my dissertation. So what I chose was Carolyn Lynn Stewart's Conversion, Revolution, and Freedom, the Religion Formation of American Soul, and Edwards, Melville, and Dubois. This was done in 2018. Both of my pieces, by the way, were submitted to Ohio State University. In terms of her sources, there's a variety of primary and secondary sources. What I love about this work is that it's heavy on primary sources, which is really what I'm trying to focus on for my work as well. Some of the major writings that she talks about are of Will Hepburn, Sidney Mead, Robert Belay, and Catherine Albanese. The author focuses on the continuing discussions about the meaning of American Republic in terms of civil religion. Several other works and literary criticism of like Perry Miller, and I'm seeing here Berkovich have explored these religious dimensions and structuralism of American self from the point of view of these literary texts. In terms of content, the dissertation brings together two well-known interpretive problems in understanding the formation of America as a nation and self, and how the meaning of American self arises from different traditions and cultures, and how religion is understood in the formation of the American national self. So really get into this biblical worldview and what role it plays. What Stewart also does well in her methodology, it falls within the context of like two problematics, to work within the context of American and civil religion, specifying the meaning of civil religion in terms of conversion, revolution, and reconstruction. Three primary chapters is what she does to address this in her dissertation. One heavily talks about Jonathan Edwards and deals with the structure of conversion. Another, with Herman Melville, addresses the options and dilemmas of the ambiguities, attempts to construct this post-revolutionary self. And then finally, W.E.B. Du Bois and his reflection on recurring meaning of revolution and confrontation within a limit, rebirth, reconstruction following the Civil War, which they're calling America's second Revolutionary War. And she concludes that regarding the thesis during conclusion, but rather she doesn't really go back and conclude her dissertation or her thesis, in my point. Rather, she summarizes her main points, reviewing Du Bois and Melville and their major arguments here. So for me, I don't feel like the author was able to really give that information, and even with all of the primary sources, but I did like the methodology and the way that the work was structured. All right, and so my second piece, Allison Clark Efford, again to University of Ohio, 2008. The other was in 2018. This work explores German immigrants and their influence in reshaping American citizenship following the Civil War, something I am heavily focused on, as I am a German descendant myself, and my family is noted for helping to settle the German coast in South Louisiana. Sources here, surprisingly, were heavily based on secondary